hardly the bravest position one can take in the United States. I'm against violence. Audiences go wild. I believe in love of it. I'm against violence. I went and heard it, read his speeches through New Hampshire and the campaign so far. I've never seen him make any original suggestion, any suggestion of doing anything different than we're doing at the moment. I can't believe that he suggested one thing, but in dealing with any of our domestic ills, which is anyone different than what we're doing at the moment. Except, I agree, there was one thing he supported, my legislation on tax incentives for private industry. Delighted if everything goes well and I'm elected President of the United States, we can have his support during that period of time after we try to enact that legislation. But as far as Vietnam, he said, what we are doing wrong is we should just do more of it. There's one thing we tried is doing more of it. We've done that. Every 3 months we do more of it. I think that what we want to try to do is to try something. We found one thing that doesn't work is doing more of it. And that's why I think that we need a change. We need a change in our course of action. I say that all of those who are satisfied that the United States is living up to its potential, that we've done all that we can, and that everything is satisfactory within our own country and our relationship to other nations. And all those who are satisfied are going to support the present leadership of the Democratic Party, or they're going to vote for Richard Nixon. But I think that people that feel that we can do better, and that we don't have to accept the status quo, we don't have to accept these deep divisions, that we can do better in our cities, and we can do better about rural poverty, that we can do better in our compassion and understanding for our fellow citizens, that we can improve the education of those who are uneducated, that we can find jobs for people through the government or through private industry, and that we have a responsibility, that we can feed those who are still hungry in the United States, such as in the Delta of Mississippi.
little, please, this line. Back up a little. My daughter said, well, we try and hold our legislative distance.
That's okay. No. Nice to see you.
Same time. Hi, Doc Johnson, please. Robert, good luck.
Trying to. Come and look over.
Excuse me.
He will, don't worry. Oh, that's fine.
A uno me previene la pezza che va avanti. Che importante.
Thank you.
Okay, go.
Vice President Clark, State Senator, just those in political life, and bring it back to the people themselves. This is going to be the opportunity for the people themselves to decide, it seems to me, as people don't feel that they're involved in political life, that what they want to accomplish, has no effect on the kind of effort over the period of the next 3 months. That we can win in Chicago, that we can get the nomination in Chicago, and that the Republican Party, and I'm sure there are those people here who are for Richard Nixon. Not many, but I was speaking yesterday, and I was thinking about Richard Nixon. You know, we have all these problems that are facing us in the United States. We have the problems of race, of blacks and whites getting along together. We have the problems of violence. We have the problems of the cities. We have problems of the turbulence and the disorders and the lawlessness. And we have the problems of Vietnam. But I was trying to think of one constructive idea that Richard Nixon's come up with on any of these matters that are anything different from what we're doing at the moment. Those of you who are for Richard Nixon, just think. Now, he's been involved in this campaign for the last 6 months. He's not here to defend himself, I recognize that. But just think, if you can, of any one idea that he's come up with what we should do about the cities. What we should do about blacks and whites getting along together, other than say that, wouldn't it be nice if they got along together? And in Vietnam, the only suggestion has been we should do more of what we've been doing at the moment. I happen not to think that that's the answer. I think we've tried that. We've kept doing more of what we're doing, and it hasn't worked. And that's why I think we should change it. I don't think that we can withdraw from Vietnam. I don't think we can unilaterally withdraw from Vietnam, and I'd be opposed to alternatives. It was an economic country, an industrial country, and their production went up 300% while the war was going on right through 1944. 300%. And we're dropping bombs on a rural country with no great industry. So these are the conditions of the 1940s. Go ahead, gentlemen. Will I vote? South Vietnam, I would make it clear that we'd be willing to negotiate face-to-face with the National Liberation Front and Vietnam to try to bring an agreement in that part of the world. Those are some of the things I would do.
Thank you. Okay, see where he is either. Oh yeah, there he is. There he comes.